Hi, my name is Jen. Thanks for joining me today. Today is going to be a Pilates chair workout. I am using the Balanced Body EXO chair. I do have a split pedal, but I have my pedal together. We're using it as one pedal today. This is a chair series that I'm creating to go through the beginning motions of chair and then gradually build onto each exercise. Each of these classes is going to be about 30 minutes, and I hope you enjoy. I do have my chair facing this way just for ab warm-up. I like to do my ab warm-up perpendicular across the top of the chair because the base of support is a little bit smaller and you get a little deeper into your ab work. I do have my chair set up today to flow right into the next move on a 3 and a 1. We are going to be starting with some sitting footwork on top of the chair. I do have my magic circle today. It is just for the ab warm-up in the beginning, and then we will be putting it down. I do have my chair facing you, so my bum is not facing you. When we do ab work, I will go ahead and turn the chair to do the seated footwork. So I am going to pause the video momentarily, switch, and I will pick up right where I was. It will not affect you at all. So I hope you enjoy this workout, and when you have your springs set up on a 3 and a 1, magic circle in your hand, meet me on the chair. Remember, magic circle is not needed. It is just a prop to get a little bit deeper, and I like to use it in this sequence. So again, you can put your hands behind your head. Once you're ready, I hope to see you on that chair. All right, so I have my chair positioned facing you just for filming purposes, so my bottom isn't facing you, so you can see my side position here. So when you're ready, you're going to go grab your magic circle. You're going to come stand at the edge of your chair away from your pedal. From here, you're going to sit on the edge, and I want you to go ahead. We're going to come down. We're going to lay up over the chair pad. We're going to bring our legs to table, and from here, this magic circle is going to come towards the back of our head. Now, I like to use the magic circle here because it does support your neck a little bit more than your hands. So by any means, if you don't have the magic circle, you can bring your hands behind your head. So from here, you're going to knit those abs in. You're going to find your shoulder blades back and down on that carriage. You're going to find your head in neutral spine. Your tailbone is heavy. Your legs are squeezing together. And from here, you're going to draw those abs in. Take a deep inhale. On that exhale, I want you to slowly curl your chest up, tucking that chin towards your chest, looking not down at your navel, not at your knees, but in between your legs. Slowly bring that head on down, back to neutral. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale as you curl up. So you want to try to knit these ribs together and slowly just warming up through our abs. So this movement isn't big here. I like to begin warming up with the abs, and this is one of my favorite ab series to do on the chair because your base of support is a little bit smaller. Keep curling up, tucking that chin towards your chest, pushing, just placing that magic circle, supporting your head. We're going to go for 2 more here. And on this next one, we're going to curl it up. We're going to hold it up. From here, we're going to go into single leg stretch. So extend that right leg, pull it into table. The left, table. Reach that leg long out of the hip. Keep those abs and ribs connected. Keep drawing those abs in and trying to lift every time you extend that leg longer out of the hip. Go for 2 more sets. Last one on each side. From here, when your legs come back to table, hold it up. Keep that head lifted. From here, we're going to go into oblique work. So you're going to take the right elbow, go towards the left knee, bring it back to center. Left elbow towards the right knee, back to center. That rotation, your hips are planted. It's coming from your waistline. You're rotating that rib cage around that spine. Keep doing, keep moving. You're doing great. We got 4 for 3. Last 2 and 1. Let's find that head, come back to center, find that head back into neutral. From here, we're going back into that chest lift, tuck that chin towards your chest, slowly curl yourself on up. Then I want you to slowly bring down, and now let's come into that extension. Bring yourself down. Now tuck that chin and curl yourself up. Allow that back to go into extension. You go to your extension, what's comfortable for your body, and curl it up. So I'm inhaling as I go back, exhaling as I come up. Last 3.
All right.
For 2.
All right.
Last one here. Bring that head back down to neutral. Slowly bring your feet down to the floor, and you can slowly come up sitting onto the edge of your chair. Beautiful. Go ahead, relax those shoulders. All right, before we move on, we're going to take a moment here. Sit at the edge of your chair. So you have a soft bend in your knees. You're leaning on that chair. Your shoulders are back and down. From here, that magic circle is coming up over your shoulders. You're going to squeeze that magic circle. You're coming for a side bend over towards the left. Bring it back up to center. Let's come towards the right. Reach up and over that waistline and come back to center. Squeeze that magic circle. Bring them back up and over. So you feel like you're coming up and then coming up over those hips and up. Last 2, 1 to each side. When you come back to center, slowly bring that magic circle down. All right, so we went into our side bends. We're going to do a little bit of rotation here. So from here, I want you to squeeze that magic circle. We're going to rotate towards the right. I want you to give me 2 pumps for rotation and bring it back to center. So again, twist towards the left, rotate, pump twice, and back to center. So you're exhaling as you're twisting. That second pump is so important. You want to get deeper into it. Squeeze that magic circle. Last 3. For 2. I have to do one more to the other side because I started on this side. Excellent. Come back to center and roll those shoulders. We are done with that magic circle. You can go ahead and put that magic circle away. Make sure that your chair is on a 3 and 1, and then we will be having a seat on top of the chair. All right, go ahead, have a seat on that chair. You're going to find your heels on that pedal, sitting up nice and tall. You're going to take your hands, you're going to put them onto the sides of the chair. You're going to drop those shoulders back and down, draw those abs in, make sure you're sitting on top of your sits bones here. And from here, you're going to press that pedal down and resist it up. So you're pushing back on that chair to help you maintain spine stability here. You also want to watch your pelvis, that you don't tip it forward and you don't tip it backwards. I love chair work. It's a great piece of equipment. I just can't do an hour on it. So most of my chair workouts are about 25 to 30 minutes. And then I pretty much had enough of it. We're going to go for 3 more here. On this next one, you're going to float yourself up halfway and give yourself little pulses, just working into the belly of that muscle. Keep those abs drawn in. Those shoulders are still relaxed. You're pressing into that chair pad or pressing into that mat to help hold you in place. For 4, 3, last 2, 1. Bring that pedal all the way up. We are going to come into a high half toe. So find your high half toe. Doesn't have to be anything super high, just a half releve. From here, something you're able to maintain. Draw those abs in, sitting on those sits bones. From here, press it down and resist it up. So you're trying to get both legs to press evenly between both sides. You want to have control of this pedal at all times. We're going for 3 more here. On this next one, I want you to float it up halfway. From here, just give me little pulses. I'm inhaling and exhaling. Exhaling as I press down, inhaling as I come up. For 4, 3, 2. On that last one, bring it all the way up. We're going to click those heels together, come into Pilates V. What you need to be mindful here is that your legs don't open wider than your body, so you want to keep them in line with your hips. Hands are pressing down. You're sitting long out of that spine, sitting straight up nice and tall. Sits bones on top underneath your waist. From here, press the carriage down and resist it up. Remember, watch those knees. Don't let them open too wide. Last 3. On this last one, you're going to come up halfway. We have those pulses here. Work into the belly of that muscle. Try to stop that pedal and use those muscles to push the pedal back down. Try not to use momentum from the last move. Watch those knees, that they're not wider than the hips. For 3, 2, last 1, slowly bring it up. You can float that pedal on up. We're going to take our heels wide onto that pedal. Now your legs are wider than your hips. So again, be mindful that you don't spill your beans if you don't tilt your pelvis forward. I call that spilling your beans. So from here, press into that chair mat, press the chair pedal down, resist it up. So really the resistance on the way up is what I love to focus on. That's firing all those support muscles, those little stabilizing muscles that you need. Last 3. On this last one, I missed the pulses. Let's come down halfway. Let's pulse it out. This will be our last set here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way up. And you can float that pedal on up. Beautiful. Go ahead. You can shake out those legs. And then from here, we are slowly going to come up to a standing position. We are going to be making a spring change now. So now I'm going to be taking off my light spring. So I am just coming down to, I'm only going to have one spring on my number 3. That number 3, I'm bringing it down to a number 2. So I am at 1 number 2. So that is a 2, 0. From here, I'm going to come back to the pedal of my chair and I'm going to stand in front of my pedal. Now from here, we're going to work on balance. So this is more for balance than weight. We just worked on some weight. So now I want to work on balance. So standing up nice and tall, shoulders are back and down. We're going to take whichever foot you want. I'm going to take my left foot to the pedal first. Sorry. And stand up nice and tall. From here, the ball of the foot is on that pedal. Arms are coming out to a T, and from here, you're going to press that pedal down and resist it up. So all we're working on here, the weight of this pedal is not very difficult. It's more about the balance. So that stabilizing leg, you're squeezing it. Squeezing that glute, that's stabilizing for you. Last 3, if you have problems standing, squeeze that glute to that thigh. It stabilizes harder for you. Last 2. And then we're going to come to little pulses here. For 4 and 3. For 2 and 1, slowly bring it on up. Excellent. From here, you're going to take your hands. You're going to bring them into a genie position. Now, you're going to hinge over. Soft micro bends in your standing leg. You're hinging over. From here, you're going to press the pedal down and resist it up. So hinged leg press. Working on that balance. Oop, I almost lost it there. For 3 and 2 and last 1. Bring it up and slowly step it off. Let's switch to the other side. So now my right leg is coming on to the pedal. My left leg is supporting me. Arms are coming out to the side. We're coming in with just a regular leg press. So press it down and resist it up. We'll go for 4 more. On this next one, I want you to come in halfway. Let's give little pulses here, working on that balance for shorter movements. Last 3. On that last one, bring that pedal all the way up. We're going to come into a soft bend in that standing leg. Hands come to genie position. You hinge yourself over. From here, flat back, press it down, resist it up. Draw those abs in. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that pedal on up, and then you can go ahead and shake it out. All right, we are going to come down to the floor. We're not changing our weight. We're going to stay on that 2, that 1 spring on the number 2. From here, we're going to go ahead. We're going to lie on down. We're going to come into our pelvic curls. So when you're here, I want you to go ahead. I want you first to lie down on the floor. All right. So first things first, we're going to go ahead. We're going to push that pedal all the way down. And I want your arches or your heels to be on that pedal. All right. So we're not doing anything with that pedal here, but holding it down. So we want to keep that pedal quiet. So right now we have a light weight on that chair. So our job is to keep that pedal down. So from here, when you're ready, we're going to start with our pelvic curls. We're going to start with articulation. So from here, when you're ready, press both feet into that pedal. I want you to tilt that pelvis towards your nose and slowly articulate yourself up all the way till you get to the top. Now make sure that your knees are in line with your hips and your ribs and your shoulders are in line with your waistline. So everything looks like a straight line from shoulders to knees. From here, when you're ready, take a big deep inhale. On that exhale, I want you to slowly articulate it down, one vertebrae at a time, trying to push every vertebrae down onto that mat underneath you. Again, find that neutral spine. Tilt that pelvis back towards your nose and roll yourself up. We're just going to do a couple here, working through our spine. We get to the top, take an inhale, exhale, roll it down. Keep pushing those feet into that pedal. Pedal is quiet, pressing down on that floor. You have energy pushing that pedal down. So you're glued to actively pushing that pedal down. We'll do one more here. When we come to the top, this is where we're going to hold it. So find yourself up at your high bridge. My hair is getting caught. Find yourself up at that high bridge. Now, from here, we're going to bring the left leg to tabletop. Tap it down. We're just tapping the leg. Toe taps to the same side. Squeeze that glute. Try not to drop that hip. I just caught myself. So squeeze the glute. Press down into that pedal. We're going for 4 and 3, for 2. Last one. Place that foot down. Lift those hips. Now let's lift the other side. Press into that left leg here. Right leg's coming to table. Tap it down. Can you keep your hips at the same plane? I'm trying to. Last 3. On this last one, place that foot on down, lift those hips if they fell, and from here, slowly articulate yourself down. All right, from here, you can let that pedal go up. Now we're going to come a little bit closer to this pedal, and we're going to find our feet flexed on this, up against the pad of the chair. Now from here, we're just going into hamstring curls. So your feet are flexed. The back of your feet are on the pad. You're going to go ahead, drop it down and resist it up. So not very heavy. Usually I like to do this on a 3, but this is a beginner class or the first of my chair series. So taking it a little bit lighter today, just so you get familiar with the work. So really think about bringing those heels towards your glutes. Last 2. Let that pedal float up. Now right legs come into tabletop. You're going to go into single leg hamstring curls. We're not changing the weight, so just drop it down, bring the heel towards the glute, and lift it up. So you're in control of that pedal at all times. Last 3. On that next one, when that pedal comes up, you're going to switch your feet. So your right heel is now coming down. Oh, my left heel. Sorry, I don't know my left from my right. And your right leg's coming to table. From here, you have 10 hamstring curls on this side. Can you feel the difference between side to side? I have 4 more. Last one here. When the pedal comes up, you can slowly extend both legs over that pedal. Roll those ankles in both directions. All right, so from here, we're going to go into a sitting pike. So a sitting pike here is we are going to come up, sitting up. We are on a 2-0, which is where I like it for this. You're going to take your toes and they're going to come towards the top of your chair. Your legs are going to be straight. Your abs are drawn in. All right, the arms are reaching long onto your pedal. Now, from here, toes are touching. From here, you're going to draw those abs in and you're going to press that pedal down and resist it up. Again, draw those abs in. You're finding that pike muscle. Draw those deep abs in, pull them in, and resist it up. Again, press it down, draw those pike muscles in and up. I'm getting a calf. Last 2, press it down and up. Last one here, sitting pike. Press that pedal down and resist it up. Beautiful. You can let that pedal float all the way up and you can go ahead and take yourself off of that chair. All right. We are going to be staying on that 2-0 here. So from here, we are going to be turning around and facing your pedal. I'm just going to move my chair a little up so I don't hit the wall behind me. All right, so you're going to be lying down on over the chair. And from here, you're going to press that pedal all the way down. Now, please be mindful. This is a light pedal. So if this does not work for your back extension, then put a little bit more weight on to help support you, okay? So a 3-0 would work for this as well. So you're pressing that pedal down. Now your rib cage is drawn, squeezing together. Your abs are pushing in. Your pelvis, is pushing into that chair mat. Your abs are squeezing together. Your shoulders are backing down. Your wrists are right underneath your shoulders. Your feet behind you are in Pilates V. From here, you're slowly going to float that pedal up. You're going to come up into back extension, what feels good for your body, and come back down. So again, I have less support here, so I have to work a little bit harder to lift this pedal up. So if you need some assistance, take that spring to that 2 and bring it to the 3. So again, coming up into that back extension and pressing it down. I have a little soft micro bend in my elbows. They're facing behind me. They come towards my waist as I come up. Last 2. Last one here. Excellent. Next time that pedal comes down, keep that pedal pressing down. Now from here, you're going to bring your feet to parallel, send those shoulders back and down. We're just going to swim those legs. So just squeeze, press that pedal down, draw those. Are those abs still squeezing together? Just kick those legs for 10 and 9 and 8, 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Slowly come up, bring your hand to the chair, and go ahead, put your foot on to that floor. From here, go ahead, just give yourself an opposing stretch. Just pull back on that chair. And then from here, just round and flex that spine for a moment. All right, we're going to keep that chair pad right where it is. We're going to finish out this class. We're going to finish up with some mermaids. So I'm going to start facing you. I am going to have my inside hand that's closest to the pedal. It's going to come to the pad of the pedal. This hand, my free hand, is coming up behind my head. Now from here, when you're ready, this leg is reaching long. I have this leg dangling over the front of my chair. From here, when you're ready, you're going to press that pedal down, come over into that side bend. Really get up and over. This is a place this is one of my favorite exercises on the chair because you can totally get up and over that waistline and come up. Again, reach down, over. Get deep into that waistline and up. We'll do 2 more here. Hopefully I don't lose my mic. It just fell off. And 1 more here. Come up. Come back up to center. And you can slowly come all the way up. We're going to go ahead. We're going to turn around the other direction. Do those mermaids. Here's some. Now my inside leg is dangling off the front. My outside leg is pointed a little bit next to me. Alongside of me. Sorry. Inside hands is pressing down onto the chair pad. Opposing hand, free hand, is coming up behind the head. From here, when you're ready, you're going to come over, side bend up and over that waistline, and come up. Side bend up and over that waistline. We'll go for 1 more here. Reach it all the way up and over. Slowly come all the way up. Stack your spine up nice and tall. Relax those shoulders. And you can come ahead, you can turn around. And we are all done. Again, thank you for joining me so much. I appreciate you taking this class with me. And like always, please like, comment, subscribe, share. It keeps me motivated to make more videos for you. And I also like to know what you would love to hear. I would love to do reformer and chair combo classes. So if that's something you would like to see, please drop it in the comments below. Otherwise, have a great day and I'll see you next time.